Alright, welcome to the game Intensive Scare Unit. This is a visual novel that I saw on itch.io. I thought the premise, no, not the premise, it's more of the visual of, I think this is an intern working at the hospital and you have to attend all of the patient's needs. Also, I was given a warning when I opened the game. It has epilepsy, photosensitivity, and seizure. Yeah, I have no idea what this game has to offer, so let's just begin. Sigh. It's my first night shift during residency today. Mom and Dad has always wanted me to follow in their footsteps to become a specialist. Mom was a pediatrician and Dad was a neurosurgeon. I followed their wishes and got accepted to residency. But all I want is to get good night shifts. What? I can say I had high expectation for my first night shift in the ICU, but if I'd known it would be this gloomy, I might have tried to get more than 3 hours of sleep. From the moment I walked through the door, I felt like I'd stepped into a different world. The lights are dim, the beeping is constant, and the whole atmosphere feels like it's one bad day away from a horror movie. I found Satria, who was supposed to be 1 year my senior, in the staff room, looking like he'd just crawled out of a zombie movie. He was practically a zombie with dark circles so deep they could double as eye sockets. His scrubs were a mess, and he had this dazed, hollow look on his face. Hold on. Our protagonist is named Leah. Cool. So I guess she got graduated and was assigned residency in this hospital. Cool. Good evening, senior. Good evening, senior. My name is Leah. Oh no, drop it. Just be casual with me. Oh. You're the first year residents, right? Ate your dinner already? Yes? Good. You'll need all the extra calories. Anyways, welcome. Sutter doesn't give up the seniority vibes in residency like some of my peers. Doesn't give up this. Huh, okay. I had been told that residency is like being part of some medieval hierarchy where you're the lowly maid and everyone else is a noble with a stick up there. Well, you get the idea. But then there's Satria. I mean, the guys actually seemed nice. Yeah, I know. It's almost hard to believe. I'm supposed to do a night shift around the junior. A shift before me. Do you know where they are? Satya blinks at me like I just interrupted a really intense daydream. They went home. He just sounded like he's been gargling gravel. I wonder if I'd be like that after a year of residency. Oh, is everything okay? Anything I can get you? I managed a half-hearted grin that did nothing to reassure me. Nah, just one of those nights. Anyway, this means you'll be doing the night rounds with me. Let me explain everything, kid. Listen, well, because I'm not gonna repeat anything for you. Okay? Here's the deal with the night shift. It's a whole different beast. We're understaffed, so it's basically just you, me, and, one nurse tonight. Wait, one nurse? For the entire ICU? He waves his hand as if it was nothing. Who needs nurses when there are residents, am I right? We're stretched thin, and it's a bit of a juggling act. The ICU's usually got more hands on deck, but tonight, it's a skeleton crew. So expect things to get a little interesting. I glanced around the ICU, trying to picture the lone nurse trying to handle everything. I'll do my best. Good. If you're lucky, she will be able to cover all the bases. But don't count on it. We'll need to pitch in whenever we can. So I'd like you to take charge of the patient bells. Patient bell duty? What does that involve? It's exactly what it sounds like. You'll be the one answering the patient's call bell. Every time a patient hits their call button, it's your job to respond. It's one of those tasks that gets handed off to the newbie because it's hella boring but crucial. Amazing. I'd already been dreading the prospect of juggling everything else, and now I have to deal with constant interruption from call bells too? Here's how it works. Each patient room has a call button next to the bed. When they press it, an alarm goes off at the nurse station. Well, it would have been more than one nurse on tonight. So, you'll need to be the one who gets up and checks on them. Understood. Alright, yeah. Let's do a quick round so you know what you're dealing with tonight. Satya led me through the dimly lit corridors of the ICU. He stopped in front of the main nurse's station and gestured for me to follow as he began his impromptu tour. We started at room 101. This is Angela Liam, 7 years old, recovering from post-dengue shock syndrome. She's stable, but still needs monitoring. Sweet kid. She's been through a lot. As for pediatric patients, you deal with the parents mostly. I peered through the glass window of the room, seeing a tiny figure nestled in the bed, her mom sitting anxiously beside her. Her mom looks kind of familiar. Cedra led me to room 104 next. Here we have Mrs. Selvina, 47 years old. She's on a ventilator because her liver cancer has metastasized everywhere. Her condition is critical, so keep an eye on her. We can't get hold of her family yet, so no DNR. I glanced at the room where the ventilator hissed rhythmically and Mistress Selvina lay still. Oh, whoops. I scrolled back. Whoopsies. Next, we move to room 108. Ooh! That is amazing how you can push the PNG characters way back. And actually, they kind of fit with the size, the scales there. Nice. As you walk past room 108, a loud crash opened me, followed by the sound of something, thrashing around like a wild animal. What was that? This is Mr. X. We basically found him on the street. He's in delirium, in pain, and we found some injectable drugs in his belongings. Probably OD'd on something. Overdosed on something. I think something is crawling inside of him. Pain in the ass, really. Just trying to handle him with patience. Morphine every hour or so. He'll let us know. So, we're just gonna let him fight his imaginary demons in there? Until he starts tearing the place apart, then we sedate him. Anyway, you definitely need to keep this one in check. Oh, okay. 108, we need to definitely monitor him more. Finally, we arrive at room 110. Mr. Joko Muyo no? I'm reminded of a specific someone that has Muyono in his name. But I want to believe that this is a completely different character and there is other person that has similar names to that guy. But I can't help but find it hilarious. Mr. Joko Mulyono, 75 years old, he had diabetic gangrene. Oh, that caused a septic shock and just had a leg amputation. He's in a rough spot and can be a bit grumpy, but he's generally manageable. So I glanced at his watch and sighed. Shift starts at 9 p.m. and runs until 7 a.m. You got a mix of serious cases and one that's going to test your patients. Try to keep track of their needs and be ready for anything. Got any tip? Wait, got it. Any tips on how to deal with the patients while I'm at it? Cedra gives me a wary look. The usual. Be polite, be efficient, and try not to let them see how frazzled you are. The call bell might seem like a nuisance, but it's there for a reason. Keep an eye on the frequency of the calls. It might give you clues if something's wrong. Okay. He pauses as if considering whether to add more. We'll go on. Also, be prepared for the occasional strange requests. It's the ICU after all. People and things. You are usually not in their right state of mind. What do you mean? You'll see. Saturday looked like he was about to collapse on the spot. Just do your best, kid. We're all running on fumes. We'll get through it. And if you need anything, try not to hesitate. I almost forgot. Since we're working on an ICU, try to answer the patient bells as fast as you can, yeah? Any call might be someone's life and death. Oh, I mean, you can't just undo your mistake in real life, right? Lucky for me, I can do that. I wonder what's this button. I think this is just for save. Yeah. As Satria shuffled off to the doctor's call room, he moved so listlessly. It was like he was gliding through the shadows. Seriously, the guy looks like he was a part of the decor. Part of decor. But it's gonna be me after a year. I made my way to the nurse's station, towards the patient bell call. The nurse on duty, who had been introduced to me as part of the skeleton crew for the night, was standing at the desk. She looked up as I approached, and my first impression was that her face was so pale, she almost blended into the background. Oh yeah. Hello? I'm Leah, the new resident. Just checking in. That jump between her looking at the side, then towards, I would assume, Leah. Oh. The nurse didn't respond. Instead, she just stared at me with vacant eyes and nodded. It was as if she was too tired or overwhelmed to offer any kind of greeting. Alright then, I'll be around if you need anything or there's any news. You see? I don't know if it's I don't know if it's intentional or if it's a glitch. No reply. Just silent nodding. It was like talking to a very pale, very silent mannequin. The child in the room seems to grow thicker. Oh, the child. Sorry. The chill in the room seemed to grow thicker with every second, and the silence was starting to feel like it was pressing in on me. I turned and headed back towards the patient rooms, trying not to let the oppressive atmosphere get to me. Oh! Did the lights just flickered? Nah, it's probably my imagination. The ICU was dark, eerie, and very silent seems to amplify the sense of unease. It's like Satria and the nurse were just the icing on the cake of this unsettling shift. I took a deep breath and braced myself. It's gonna be a long night. I sat at the nurse station, all eyes on the patient bell monitor. It was one of those moments where you try to pretend you're not staring, but it's impossible to look away. The monitor was supposed to make my job easier. Right now, I was feeling like a bad omen. Oh! Out of nowhere, the first bell rang, not just once, but 3 times simultaneously. My heart skipped a beat and I glanced at the monitor. 108. and 110 were flashing with alarms. 10 of air for the ICU, I suppose. But then, 112. The monitor showed its bells ringing too. Room 112 was empty. Okay, so let's take care of 1A. I pressed the intercom button on room 108. Good evening, sir. It's Mr. Dr. Leah. What's going on there? A long unsettling silence, although broken only the humming of ventilators. I was about to read myself when a garbled voice came through the speaker. She... inside me. His voice cracking with pain and something else. Fear, maybe? Her hands scratching. Trying to get out. I swallowed hard, trying to keep my tone professional. Sir, there's nothing under your skin. You're just experiencing a symptom of your condition. No. His voice was loud now, frantic. I could hear the sound of him thrashing in his bed, the bed frame creaking under the force. You don't understand, it's her! Her nails. I can feel them. Ticking! Sir? Just breathe, okay? I'm coming in to check on you, but you have to stay still, alright? No reply. Just a wheezing laugh cackled through the intercom, making the hairs in the back of my neck stand up. I reached the door to 108, bringing the state aid with me. Suddenly, everything was eerily quiet. Groggily, I glanced down the hallway, hoping to ask for assistance from Satya or the nurse, but I was alone. I took a deep breath, steeling myself as I pushed open the door to room 108. Oh! Oh! I should have let Satya take this one! He was thrashing violently, face contorting in agony. His hands were clawing in his own skin, scratches covering his arms when he tried to dig out whatever he believed was inside him. No! Please! Please get her out. I can't. I can't take it anymore. I'm just going to sedate you, sir. I'll help you with the pain, but you have to let go, alright? As I reached for a syringe, he grabbed my wrist with a surprising strength. Let go! Let go! She's in me! Her nails, they're cutting through. She's going to crawl out of me and into you. She's going to tear us apart. His grip tightens, and for the moment I could almost feel it. A sharp, cold stretches beneath my own skin, like nails digging through flesh. My stomach turned, but I forced myself to stay calm. I had to. It was just delusion. It's just drugs. It's just paranoia. I injected the sedative in his IV. Mr. X breathing slow, his thrashing subsiding. The sedative took effect, but even his eyes bloodshot, he kept whispering to himself. He's coming. I backed out of the room, trying to calm my trembling hands. But then, as I stared down the hallway, something stopped me in my tracks. It was faint at first, a soft, melodic hum that seemed to drift through the stillness. Who the heck is singing at this hour? I paused, my ears straining to catch it. The sound grew clearer and rather cold. A Basin hen was singing. Her voice was haunting, laced with a sorrow that steeped to my bones. And if that wasn't enough, there was a distant clink of a gamelan orchestra began to play along with her. Wait, what? Oh. What the hell's going on? I can't deal with this shit. No way, bro. It was coming from Mr. X's room. It couldn't be from his phone or TV. The Brazilian's voice was so close, It was like she's standing right behind me, singing directly into my ear. I've half expected to feel her cold breath on my neck. She's coming. And then just like that, the music cut off. Everything fell into a silence so thick it was suffocating. Maybe I've had too much coffee. That's it. I rushed back to the nurse station, trying to shake off whatever just happened. I stood at the nurse station again when the bell for room 101 and room 103 started ringing at once. Not this again. Room 103 was empty completely. Utterly empty. So why the hell was the bell ringing? Room 4 had Mrs. Salvina, who was unconscious and paraplegic. She couldn't ring the bell even if she wanted to. I glanced at the nurse who was still standing there, eerily mute, as if the chaos around us didn't even register. What the hell is going on with this night shift? Satya, my ever-reliable senior, just let out a sarcastic laugh. Oh well, it seems like there's a welcome party for you. Wait, but I was gonna check number 10. Okay, so let me check on 101. I think I was expecting something out of a horror movie to greet me. Instead, Angela's mother's voice cracked through the speakers. Doctor, Angela's IV drip is running out. Could you come and replace it? I'll be right there. Relieved that it was something straightforward. Finally, I grabbed a fresh IV bag and made my way to the room. But as soon as I walked in, the atmosphere fell off. Not again. Angela's mother, Mrs. Liam, was standing by the window. Her expressions mixed of worry and something else I couldn't quite describe. Her daughter seemed to be asleep peacefully on her bed. Excuse me, Mrs. Liam. I'm Dr. Leah. I'll be replacing your daughter's IV drip. Doctor, wait. I'm sorry to trouble you, but there's been knocking on the window. It's been happening for a while now. When I look, there's no one there. Probably just the wind, ma'am. She just looked back at me. Or I could check for you. I moved to the window, opening the curtains and peered out into the darkness. Nothing. Just a faint reflection of the room behind me and the dark sky beyond. I shook the latch just to be sure it was securely locked. It's safe, ma'am. Nothing out there. She just gave me an uneasy smile and decided to replace the IV drip. Something about her tugging at the back of my knee. I felt like I've seen her before. Are you on social media or something, Mrs. Liam? Your surname is familiar. Yes, I am TikTok model Veronica Liam. I see. She didn't respond, just turned back to the window. She was holding her left wrist. For a moment I thought I saw some bruising marks on them. As I finished up with the IV, the unease in the room seemed to thicken. Seems like I shouldn't have asked. Just press the bell if you need anything else. Angela's mom nodded again, but her gaze remained fixed on the window. It's as if she was waiting for something, or someone, that wasn't there. I quickly left the room, sighing to myself. Feeling thirsty, I wandered into the doctor's lounge. Satya was already there, leaning against the counter while stirring 2 cups of coffee. He handed me one with a half smirk. So, okay, if it's like the 3rd time, I get 3 notifications. And I click one of them, the other 2 buttons are gone. That would imply that Satya and the one nurse, the mute nurse, was the one that deal with the other patients. Maybe the mute nurse was the one that checks the empty room, like 112 and 103. And Satya does like the other patients. Like in 110, Joko Mulyono, and uh 104 with Mistress Sylvana, I think. Anyway. Thanks. Hang in there, kid. This is just a first shift. Hey, this is what I signed up for. Easy for you to say. You're one of the blue bloods, aren't you? Everyone knows about you, was it? Everyone knows about you. What was it? Mom's a pediatrician, dad's a neurosurgeon. Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's a walk in the park. They're always comparing me to them, telling me how much harder I need to work. I don't even want to be a doctor anyway. Still, must have been nice though, having parents who made things so much easier. Wish I had that kind of leg up. My family put everything into getting me here. Now it's on me to make sure it's worth it. I looked at him, really looked. And for a second, I got a glimpse of the weight he carried. Well, I guess we're both just trying not to mess it up. Yeah, something like that. I leaned back, taking a longer sip of the coffee, letting the silence sit for a bit. So, why did you decide to be a doctor? Honestly, for my parents. It's not like I have some big passion for it or anything. They're not well off, and, well, it felt like the only way to give back. Really? Yeah, I mean, they sacrificed so much to get me here. It's not me to make it count. Plus, I'm not going to be able to help my sister much longer. I figured I could chip in with her uni loans when I'm out of residency. You know? It's heavy. Yeah, well, it's not like I can quit now. But why emergency medicine? Of all the specialties, you chose the one where people are literally running in and out non-stop. I didn't exactly choose it. It was the one available through the scholarship, and through the scholarship I got, I had to take what I could get. Oh. So this isn't your first choice? I mean, it's fine. I don't hate it or anything. But if I'm being honest, it was never really about what I wanted. It was just about making sure I could get through med school without bankrupting my parents. Satya stretched a bit while grabbing his things. Anyway, I better get back. The nurse seems inexperienced. Just before he left, he paused at the doorway and looked back at me. Residency is brutal, kid. There's still time to leave if you don't want to be here. Hang in there, okay? Before I could respond, he gave me a small smile and disappeared down the hall. Oh my god! The clock struck midnight and the ICU erupted into chaos. Every damn bell in the intercom rang out like crazy. I turned to Satya, his face was as pale as mine. What's happening? I have no freaking idea. It's like the whole damn place is losing it. The ring bell drowned out our voices and I was struggling to speak. All the urge to run, but from what? From a helpless patient? Then who's the nurse? The one who hadn't spoken a word since we started. Is this a drill? Finally she speaks. So she was human after all, thank God. The drill? And this goddamn hour? The nurse took back, looking ready to faint. I don't know. I'm a new employee too. Nobody told me about this. Yeah, just press the button. Just answer any call. Maybe I'll stop. Roger that. Um, uh, uh, uh. Let's go here. Marwan remember being Mr. Jokos Mulyanos' roof, the elderly man who recently had his leg amputated. Doctor said he was one of the most stable patients, or at least he had been. Hello? His wife's voice cracked through the speaker. Soft but urgent. Um, excuse me, nurse. My husband has a fever. He's not resting well. I'll be right there. I went away to room 110. As I entered, the first thing I noticed was how warm the room felt. Stuffy almost. Mr. Mulino was in bed, his face flushed and profusely sweating. He was asleep, but his body was restless, twitching as if something was bothering him, even in his dreams. Good evening, ma'am. I'm Dr. Leah. May I check Mr. Mulino's temperature? Please, go ahead, doctor. She's so pale in comparison to her husband. What happened? I checked his temperature. Definitely a fever. Nothing too alarming, but enough to need attention. I reached into my pocket and pulled out a vial of paracetamol, preparing to administer it. This will get the fever under control. As I injected the medicine into his IV, I felt the presence of his wife hovering next to me. Mrs. Mulino seemed like a sweet elderly woman, the kind who reminded you of homemade cookies and knitting by the fireplace. But tonight, something felt off. Maybe it was just in my imagination, though. Thank you, doctor. I glanced up, meeting her eyes. She was smiling. Kind, grandmotherly smile. But there was something strange behind them that I couldn't quite put my finger on. Oh, maybe she's just worried about her husband. Of course. He should get better soon. You're very kind, doctor. We're so grateful for everything you're doing. Just doing my job, ma'am. Is there anything else you need? No. He's tired, dear. So very tired. Pardon? She didn't respond immediately. Instead, she kept that unnerving smile fixed on me, her eyes boring to mine. I checked Mr. Mulino's vital one more time, my hands shaking slightly. His fever was starting to come down, and he seemed to be slipping into a more peaceful sleep. But the room felt too suffocating, and Mrs. Mulino kept smiling, never once moving. He should be fine now. Let me know if anything changes. Mrs. Mulino said nothing, just nodding silently as I turned to leave. I could feel her gaze burning to my back, that eerie smell still hanging in the air. The door clicked shut behind me as I exhaled and breathed and didn't realize I'd been holding. What's wrong with my first shift? I rushed back to the nurse station, trying to shake off whatever just happened. The bell rang out. 101 and 105. Ugh. Looks like someone's crawling the skin. The room 101. Angela and her tic-tac famous mom with a mysterious knocking. Empty. Perfect. Okay. I should definitely check on 108 though. And the sound of Mr. Henry rushing immediately through the speaker. His voice, even more frantic and broken than before, cut through the noise. She's out! Pardon? She's out, but I can still hear her. She's here! Help! Sir, I'll be there in the... Okay, this is a scream. Sir! You hear it too, don't you, doctor? So listen, screaming. Something familiar. I'm grasping my hands and place them on top of my forehead, praying nothing ever happened to me. Why? I see his sing, soft at first, like a lullaby from hell, getting louder and closer with each second. The song drowned out Mr. X's screaming. The hair on my neck stuck on the end of her voice roamed through the steps. She inched closer and closer until I felt like she was right here in the nurse station, instead of Mr. X's room. I can't do this alone. I bolted towards his room one way, dragging the new nurse with me, despite her protest. The eerie wail from Mr. X still echoed in my ear as we rushed down the dim lit hallway. What happened? What happened? Can I click? Okay, I thought it was like something. I had to click to the next scene. I reversed into the room. The bed was empty. The song had also stopped. Sir? I looked at the window, but it seemed like it was jammed shut. Over there! The nurse pointed at Mr. X, cowering under the bed, his wide eyes glinting with terror. Sir, what are you doing over there? I kneeled down, trying to see him better. Oh, thank you for the voice, for the scream sound effect. Trying it an answer, this nurse beside me let a blood-curdling scream. She stumbled back, clutching her foot, eyes widened with fear. Doctor, there's something scratching me. It's on the floor, scratching me. Cold chill ran down my spine. Scratching, the whole feeling from earlier was bad. But it wasn't just in my head. The nurse felt it too. Whatever was down there wasn't done with us yet. When helping Mr. Alex came for us, I had to sedate him. He was still trembling under bed, his eyes darting around like he was seeing something I couldn't. I injected this sedative into his arm, trying to ignore everything else while the nurse cowered behind me. Just breathe. Oh, poor Mr. X, though. He has been haunted by these ghosts. I don't know for what reason that he has been haunted by the Basinhen. But the one thing I know is that he has been overdosing a lot. And we're not helping him by just giving him more sedative morphine. It'll probably just worsen his condition. I feel like it. His eyes fluttered close as the drug took effect. I turned towards the nurse. Are you okay? My mom said being a nurse is an honorable profession. I'm just here for the paycheck. It's okay. He's asleep. Let's get out. But as I turned to leave, so I was shadowed by that haunting sound again, that the same hand song. I didn't wait to see what could happen next. Let's go already! Okay, what the fuck is going on? Why is the hospital? It's just ruined. The nurse grabbed me by my arm. We both entered the room. The song echoed behind us, like it was chasing us down the hallway as we fled back to the nurse's station. I didn't even realize the corridor had somehow become even darker than before. We didn't stop until we were back in the dim safety of the station, gasping for air. The song has faded, but whatever was happening in room 108 is far from over. Satya was there. He was Nabra when he saw us running, but didn't ask anything. Satya, do you know anything about Mr. X's background? I mean, beside the obvious nightmare we just dealt with. Satya leaned back, his eyes fixed at the ceiling. There's a rumor that he used to be filthy rich. You know, classic tale. Lost everything, bad investment, gambling, drug addiction, who knows. Really? How come? When they found him, he had this ridiculously expensive watch on him. Like, the kind that you could pay off a car. No one's sure if he stole it or if it was his, but it's the only thing he had left. We kept hearing a gamelan song and someone singing, so they didn't even blink. They struck with an exasperated nonchalance. Maybe it's the vengeful lover hunting him, or it's his ex-wife. No, it's or maybe the music is just in his head, and now it's in yours too. There's no way! Either way, it's absolutely none of our business. I couldn't tell what was being serious or just messing with us. But either way, it did nothing to calm both of us. This is way above my pay grade. And I'm not even getting paid. So a freaking intern, okay. Suddenly just smile. That infuriating calm smile. And retortlessly reached to the counter and poured 2 cups of tea. He handed one to the nurse and one to me. Here, drink up. I'll help calm your nerves. The nurse and I exchanged a glance, still too loud to do anything. Finally, I took a sip away, trying to shake off my doubt and fear. The nurse did the same. If Satra could be this relaxed, maybe we could survive the rest of the night. Or maybe he was just as crazy as this place. The bell rings again. Let's check on her. President and combo in room 101, and it was Mrs. Liam again. Her voice sounded even more urgent. Dr. Leah, there's knocking again. It's fast, like someone's trying to get in. Please, can you come? Of course there is. When I entered, the room was dim. Just a faint glow of the monitoring. Mrs. Veronica Liam was sitting beside Angela's bed. Her face was even paler than the last I saw her. Doctor, I'm sorry to bother you, but it's been happening more frequently. I haven't seen Miss Salvena yet. Let me try to remember. It was room 104. There's knocking. It's almost like it's demanding to be in. As if on cue, the sound startled again. Sharp, rapid knocks that seemed to rattle the window. I took a deep breath and went to the window. Here we go again. I pulled it open, half expecting to see someone on the outside. Once again, there was nothing. Knocking stopped immediately as well. It's fine, ma'am. There's nothing out there. Mrs. Liam shook her head, her eyes filling with tears. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm losing it. I've been so stressed out. My baby. I wasn't there for her. My job, with all the pressures on social media, kept me too busy. I abandoned her when she needed me the most. Maybe it's just my guilt haunting me. For a moment, I wasn't sure what to say. An ICU, where people died and went to critical condition, seemed to feed on fear and guilt, twisting into something that could be reach out and touch you in the dark. What's important is you are here right by her side during this critical time, ma'am. She nodded, but her expression didn't change. The knock had stopped, but the unease lingered. After excusing myself from room 101, I walked to the nurse's station. The nurse was sitting there alone, tapping her pen on the desk, more bored than anything else. Oh, no, another jittering. Okay, this is definitely a bug. When she saw me approach, her eyes lit up. I wonder if she wanted to ask something about Mrs. Liam. You know Mrs. Liam? Who doesn't? She leaned closer, about to spill some tea. Word is that Veronica Liam was having an affair with some famous actor. Big name in the industry. Her husband found out, and that's why he's nowhere to be seen. Left her to deal with everything on her own, even his own kid. Can you believe that? Oh, so that's why he's not here? Yep. Rumor has it that the whole thing was a huge scandal. But they kept it hush-hush, because reputation and all that. Everyone in the know, well, they know. And how do you know? I felt a sudden playful smack on the back of my head and turned to see Satya grin like a mischievous kid. No one gossiping on the job, Dr. Leah. You're supposed to be the professional here. I'll tell on you. Ugh. Rubbing the spot where he bonked me. Yeah, sir. I was just, gathering intel. Sure, let's call it that. Chuckles and strolled down the hallway, disappearing into the shadows. Try to keep it classy, okay? The nurse is trying to get me fired. My first intern job. No way. Okay. Press the intercom button for room 104 and was greeted with a loud crash, the unmistakable sound of something shatter on the floor. Hello? Mrs. Salvina? No answer. I quickly rushed to room 104. What the fuck? As I turned on the light, wait, I saw a cup of tea laying. There was no one else in the room but Mrs. Salvina, who was unconscious in her bed, oblivious to the mess. Oh, Jesus Christ, seriously? I crouched down to inspect the shard of glasses and for any sign how the cup has ended up on the floor. There was no obvious cause, no one to knock it over, no sudden movement that could have sent it crashing. It was just as if it had decided to jump off the table of sheer spite. Okay, focus. It's just a cup. Just a cup. Of course, there was no cleaning surface inside, which meant I was the one in charge of cleaning it. As I moved to clean up a mess, I felt a shiver run down my spine. I couldn't help but glance at the window, half expecting to see something, someone, watching me from outside, until Mrs. Salvina, thinking she could just jolt awake at any moment. Hold it together, Leah. I quickly gathered the pieces of the cup and turned to leave. Before I could reach the door, I thought I heard a faint whisper, just a breath of sound like a warning. I froze, my heart racing as I glanced back at Miss Selfie. She remained still, her breathing steady but shallow. As if this night couldn't get any weirder. I quickly left the room, huffing to myself. The bells ring again. 4, 108. Again. Speaker, her nails like nails wrecking against wood. Hello? Are you there? Bringing a broom with me with no apparent reason. I pushed the door open and there was Miss Sylvie still unconscious in bed. And I saw the walls. Scratch marks crisscrossed the surface as if someone or something has been trying to claw their way. The moment I saw this screen, it scared me. But I'm trying to investigate one more time. I moved closer. The sound of scratching rose louder in my ears. What the hell? I reached out and touched the wall, feeling the rough texture of the scratches beneath my fingertip. Then I blinked. In an instant, the marks and everything else vanished. As if it was just a dream. Leah? Holy crap! I swung the broom at him, almost hitting his face. Whoa, easy there! Satya, what are you doing here? The nurse station monitor was beeping, her vitals were dropping. Mona, and he was right. When she crashes, get ready. Scratches. Did you hear it when you entered? Oh yeah. Souls that are about to die often start wandering, searching for something, someone. But we're all just passing through, right? At those words, I felt a shiver run through me. It was like his face darkened, as if it wasn't really there. Satria? That's nothing. Let's keep an eye on Miss Selby. I stepped back and left the room with Satria. His words kept ringing in my head, as if an omen. And bells ring again. Pressing the call button in room 110. Room 110, what's going on? My husband is in pain, doctor. Please come immediately. I hurried to room 110. Mr. Moliano lay in bed, his face contorted in agony. Beads was glistening on his forehead. He's not fully conscious yet. I rushed to his side, quickly checked his vitals. Hang there, sir. I'm going to give you something for the pain. Oh, thank goodness you arrived quickly. Yes, ma'am. I administered the medication. I learned something. Mrs. Moliano stood at the foot of the bed, a serene smile on her face. But her feet weren't touching the ground. I wanted to scream, but my body froze. My hands administering the meds. I quickly finished the job and got it. The syringe fell to the floor. I swept the feet as I bent down to retrieve it. I was just dreaming. Oh, she was floating. She was just standing there. She was floating. The meds are in his system now. He should be alright. I'm just gonna go. No. Her smile widened. Did you leave because you're dead or because you've noticed me? The room felt a lot colder. The shadows deepened in the corners, as if they were reaching out to grasp me. Somehow there were cracks in the walls. I couldn't move a muscle. Mrs. Moliano, I think you should... Do you see me? I couldn't bear this shit anymore. Panic surged through me and I turned to the door desperate to escape. I have to go. No, not this corridor again. With one frantic glance at Mr. Moliano, whose pain expressed mirrored my own horror, I bolted from the room and slammed the door shut behind me. As I stumbled back into the oddly darkened hallway, I suddenly heard it. A soft, whispering voice that sent chills racing down my spine. Mrs. Moliano. What do you want? You should know. One of you is just like me. The darkness hides secrets, my dear. One of you is pretending to be alive, just like I once was. Oh my god! Shuffled my tongue and trembling. How could it be? The nurse, Satria? I'm alive, aren't I? Maybe it was just trying to scare me. The bells ring again. Room 106, 108. Wasn't calm and somehow was dim. This time his voice was calm. It's over, doctor. I rushed to his room. When I got there, my stomach dropped. Disconnected all his equipment. The monitor was flatlining behind him. He stood by the window trying to pry open, hands trembling with determination. Sir, what are you doing? He didn't answer, just kept fumbling with the window latch like a possessed man. The room felt colder, heavier, and then I heard it. Why did I come back to this room again? Checking in on Mr. X because he has been, the one that troubled because of the ghost thing. The busy man singing again. The haunting melody slithered in the air, growing loud. And just like that, she appeared, her figure materializing in the room, moving closer with every note. She was beautiful, in the most unsettling way. Her smile wide, her eyes dark and empty. Mr. X with frown, pointing at her with a trembling hand. You're dead! This isn't really normal! But the woman only smiled wide. Oh my god! A slow smile that spread to her ears, contorting her face into something grotesque and inhumane. Her eyes locked into him, and the end of the room felt like it was being sucked out. No! This isn't real! Musical was still singing. She raised her hand towards him, her fingers curled like she was about to claim him, and she whispered, Ganindra? Is that his name, Ganindra? Fatima? Her smile widens even further, condensed with malice and dripping with venom. Before I could even react, her hand shot out, wrapped around his throat. Mr. Ganindra's eyes bulged as he gasped for air, his hands clawing frantically at her grip. Stop! I screamed, rushing forward, trying to pull her out. But as I grabbed her, she turned, faced with something horrific. Her beautiful feature morphed into a monstrous figure. Her eyes were now black pits, mouth too wide for her face with sharp, jagged teeth. The air grew thick with a stench of decay. Oh, hidup mungkin abdi, ayuna hidup kudu mayargan, tina. This is in Sundanese. I don't know what that means. She tightens her grip around his throat, and Ganindra's face turned to a sickening shade of blue. I yanked at her arms, but it was like trying to move a large boulder. Mr. Ganindra's choked gasp filled the room, his eyes begging for mercy. But the ghost, Fatima, or whatever she had become, only laughed. I fumbled for the intercom, my hands shaking, and pressed the button, barely managed to croak out the words, Help! Anybody! Within a moment, Satya burst into the room, praying beads on one hand and a small pouch of salt in the other. Without a word, he threw the salt across the room, the grains catching in the air with tiny sparks. The ghost woman, Fatima, screeched, a near-piercing wail that made my skin crawl. Her monstrous figure twisted and contorted as if the very air was burning her. Almost a deafening shriek, she vanished, leaving behind nothing but an icy chill in the room. Mr. Ganendra slumped to the floor, grasping for breath, his body trembling. Great. Satria, unfazed, tucked the prayer beads back into his pocket, wiping his hands on the scrubs that he'd just taken out of the trash. I rushed to Master Ganindra's side as Satria administered his meds, and it was already calming down once more. We carried him back to his bed. Satria, she said. Something could do my Argentina. What does it even mean? Satria's face darkened, his usual sarcasm replaced with a grim seriousness. Probably. You offered me up. Now you have to pay the price. That woman. She might have been a tumba. A sacrifice of some kind of ritual. Sacrifice? She was my girlfriend. I used her for a ritual to get rich. I didn't think she'd come back. My blood ran cold. This wasn't just a ghost. This was revenge. Now everything is going wrong. I've lost everything. Just leave me alone. I don't need all this injection. Cedric just shook his head. It's our job to treat you, sir. Whatever you did in the past, you need to atone for it. Without waiting for an argument, Satya quickly administered a sedative. Mr. Ganendra's eyelids fluttered as he drifted on into unconsciousness. You've got a lot more to answer for when you wake up. As we stepped out of the room, I couldn't shake the weight of what just happened. I never thought something like that still exists in this day of age. His own girlfriend. What kind of person does that? People will do anything for money. Curious, I pulled out my phone and googled Ganendra's name. What I found sent chills down my spine. He was some sort of CEO for a startup, living the high life. I stumbled upon his social media, filled with pictures of him and a woman named Fatima. They looked so happy. Well, before everything went south, that is. It felt wrong to see those smiling faces now, knowing what happened. This dude had it all. I can't believe it. Yeah, now he's left to atone for his mistake. Mr. X lives. What do you mean by that? Like the rest stay dead or something? It's time 6 a.m. to end my first grueling night shift. I was ready to head home, barely able to keep my eyes open when I noticed Satya was standing by the exit. His silhouette, framed by the morning sun, almost different somehow. He waved me over with a faint smile. "Yo, kid, thanks for everything." Sure. I didn't do much. Yeah, that's so. Thanks. Okay, you sound like you're saying goodbye. There are still more shifts in the future? Nah, you won't see me again after today. Take care of yourself, alright? He was gone. No footsteps fading, no doors closing, just gone. I stood there, my mind spinning. Had I imagined it? The night had been long, sure, but this felt strange. Everything can wait later, but now bed. As I collapsed on my couch, still thinking about such a strange word, I ominously scrolled through my phone. That's when I saw it. Kind of figured out that he was unfazed with the paranormal stuff. Oh god, it was no wonder. Satya Damanik, medical resident, dies in a single motorcycle accident at 7 p.m. last night. Last night? Wait a minute. We were working together at 9 p.m., aren't we? He was still alive then, right? Scroll to the comments, heart pounding. People were mourning him, talking about how kind he was, etc. But if he died last night, who was with me on the shift? The chill crept up my spine as I replayed our final conversation and his calm words, the way he disappeared into the sunlight. Was it real? I just worked an entire shift with Satria's ghost. I leaned back and closed my eyes, whispering a solemn prayer for Satria, for his peace and his journey, wherever it was now taking him. Satria had worked so hard to be lost the very crime he had struggled against. I sighed, staring on in the early morning light, unsure what the future would bring. I wonder if I would end up like him. One thing for certain though, I would never forget it. I'll never forget this odd night shift at the ICU. Normal ending? Mr. X epilogue. Sat on my couch, watching TV. Have been a few weeks since Mr. X or Ganendra has been released from the hospital. The news has reported him reported his imprisonment for drug trafficking. I've never heard about him since. Wait, what's this? The tragic development of Ganendra Sanjaya was found dead in his prison cell earlier today. The cause of death is certainly unknown, but the source said there was a woman's handprint around his neck when his body was discovered. Oh god. Oh no, my spine. Fatima. Had you truly claimed him in the end? The screen displayed a photo of Mr. X alongside a beautiful woman. The anchor continues, detailing how Ganendra's fall from grace had shook the community. We always admired him as a successful CEO, and only knew how he became a drug addict. Still, he had made a choice that led him down this path, and it was hard to pity someone who hurt his girlfriend for wealth. Did Fatima find him at last, reclaiming what she had lost? Was it a manifestation of his guilt? I guess I will never know. Okay, now in this segment, I'm going to show you every single cutscenes that are available within the game. The knocking is back. It's so loud now and it sounds angry. Use hell. Not quite. I was holding in the corner, trembling my finger in hand, pointing at the window. There. Just empty whole solitary. Oh no, Angela! I gasped, nearly tripping over myself, stumbled backward. Mrs. Lee was sobbing in the corner, Angela tripping her seat, her small body twitching under the sheet, groaning as if in pain. This kid never know I got one hurt. It's so real. Angela, come play with me. Come on, Angela. Don't you want to play? And then her groans are getting louder and we were trying to say something into her sleep. Angela, come play. Just let go. Shimmering light pulling away from Angela, her soul rising like a whistle storm drawn towards the ghost kid. What the heck is going on? No! Shit, she died. Give her back! Get away from her! Still hurtling, convulsed, oblivious to whatever was happening to Angela. Stared at the ghost kid, her face twisted in fear. Not even realized the danger her daughter was in. Angela? Find it. You can't go with him. What's happening? Turned onward and his eyes socked boring into me. She wants to play, just like I do. So followed the ghost kid and the ghost kid laughed. Pointed at Miss Lee. She doesn't love you. You never had time for her. Angela! Angela's better off dead, so you can live a new life with that uncle. Ghost kid howled, his laughter ringing in the air. Mrs. Lee, help her! Help Angela! Tried to prevent them from getting out of the window, but the darkness around us thickened. Feel warping around me, pulling me back. So sorry, dear. You don't get to say that now, Mom. You never cared about me. You were too busy with your stupid modeling career. See? I'm right, aren't I? I waited for you. I thought you'd love me enough to come back, but you didn't. I didn't know. I was wrong. Please, Angela, come back to me. I shook out and tears streaming in the empty eyes socket. It's too late for that. You'll never understand. I wanted you to care. Angela likes me more. We'll be best buddies. We can play forever and ever. No more staying at home alone. Just fun games with me. For a moment I could see Angela hesitating, looking back at her mother. She jumped in, cackling, screeching like Neil's on drum. Your mom doesn't love you. She only cares about herself. Come with me, Angela. We can have so much fun together. It was a mess of tears and desperation. No, Angela, please, I love you. I want you back. Okay, so this is a load. I want to say, tell Angela. Angela, your mom has suffered enough. Look at this. I grabbed Mrs. Liam's hand and showed her all the bruises she had. Not knowing what her mother had gone through. You need to go back to your body, to your mom. You can't just leave her like this. Flickered for a moment of hesitation, but the ghost kid tugged on her hand, whispering something in her ear. She looked at her mom one last time. I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't know. Daddy beat you up, didn't he? And yet you stayed with him because of me. You can be free now. Free from Daddy and from me. I'm just gonna walk away with the ghost kid phone. Those are part of against the trunk. Oh my god. Do I even... Vomiting answers once I wish. Okay. Yep. Angela, listen to me. Your mom, if she doesn't, she wouldn't be here when your father doesn't. One sun flickering in her eyes as she glanced at her mother. I'm so sorry. I've been working to escape this hellhole with your father. You know that he beats me. And I wanted to get away, to take you with me, so I can pay for your food at school. But how much you need me. I'm so sorry. She's just saying that because she's scared of losing you. Don't let him trick you, Angela. You're stronger than this. I don't know. You're loved. And you deserve a chance to be happy here. With your mom. Don't let him take you away. Angela saw a sign to drift back towards her body. No, Angela, don't be boring. Stay with me. Oh, wow, okay. I don't want to have like bad ending just yet. So yeah, I get to revert time. Yay! She's awake now. But I love my mommy. And if Daddy's hurting mommy, she doesn't have anyone but me. Mrs. Liam rushed to her daughter's side, cradling her as tears streamed down her face. Angela. Oh my god, you're okay. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, baby. I've been such a terrible mother. The work was the only way to save us. I was there for you when you need me the most. Angela, still groggy, thinks slowly as she leaned to her mother's hug. Her small hand grasping weakly at Mrs. Liam's shirt. It's okay, Mommy. I miss you so much. I've been running away from our bonds. No, I'm leaving him. We're leaving. I promise. I'll make it right. I'll make everything right. Angela's eyes fluttered closed for a moment, but this time, it wasn't from exhaustion. It was from peace. She smiled weakly, nodding as she nuzzled into her mother's shoulder. For the first time, the room was filled with warmth instead of fear. The ghost kid was gone, his angry presence fading to nothingness, and all that was left was a mother and daughter finally together. I think I did a pretty good job here. Thank you, Doctor. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't been there. I'm just glad you're both okay. Thank you, Dr. Lady. And Mr. Doctor as well. What do you mean? When I was out there, outside my body, I saw Mr. Doctor. He was hovering around. Hovering? What do you mean? He wasn't walking, he was just there, floating, and he looked different. Kind of like he wasn't really there. the same time, he was wanting a little kid to get away from me. That was odd. I didn't see Satria around. Really? But I didn't see him at all tonight. You neither. But I'll keep an eye on him. I think he is going to the old man's room next. Maybe I'll catch him if you visit there often. Old man's room. But the kid said everyone is afraid of scary ghost lady wearing caballo, so she probably needs to go first. Last time, I reversed the time, and I don't want to get like a bad ending, but right now I can't really get a good ending. So let's try this. Angela, your mother has suffered enough. Look at this. I grabbed Mrs. Liam's hand and showed her all the bruises she had. Angela stared in horror, not knowing what her mother has gone through. You need to go back to your body, to your mom. You can't just leave her like this. Angela's eyes flickered with a moment of hesitation, but the ghost kid tugged on her hand, whispering something in her ear. She looked at her mom one last time. I'm sorry, Mommy. I didn't know. Daddy beat you up, didn't he? And you stayed with him because of me. You can be free now. Free from Daddy and from me. With that, Angela turned and walked away with the ghost kid, her form fading in the darkness as her body in the bed began to tremble. The monitor were beeping and her vital plummeted. Panic surged through me as I rushed to Angela's bedside and grabbed the intercom. Code Blue! Satria! Nurse! Satria and the nurse came running the room, their faces grimmed as they saw Angela's lifeless body. They worked quickly, performing chest compression, giving her oxygen, everything it took to bring her back. But deep down, I knew it was hopeless. Angela's soul has already left. Yep, there you go, flatline. I'm sorry, ma'am. Time of death? Miss Liam crumpled to the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. Angela's voice echoed in the room, so soft, I almost thought I imagined it. I love you, Mom. Please be free. I stumbled out of Angela's room, my hand shaking as the weight of everything finally hit me. I knew that being a doctor meant we'd see countless deaths, but I could not stop my tears from flowing after experiencing the event that transpired tonight firsthand. All I could hear was Angela's voice, her final words to her mom, the sound of flatline ringing in my ears. This isn't happening. Oh, poor Angela. I heard footsteps approaching, and before I could gather myself, I felt a hand rest gently on my shoulders. Satria, you did your best, kid. I saw her leave. I saw the ghost Charlie. I couldn't do anything. She's gone. Just like that. Comes with the job. Sometimes no matter how hard we try, some things are just out of our control. We're doctors, not gods. She was just a kid. I know. You did everything you could. More than most would. Let that be known. For once, there was no sarcasm from him. Just a quiet understanding. And somehow, it made me cry even harder. Satria stood there, silent, letting me cry it out. No pressure. Just there. Angela died. Oh, swung on in front of him. Mr. X, with his eyes wide and disheveled hair, burst out, throwing away all of his medical equipment as if it were poison. She's after me! Satria, we have to stop him. We chased him, but it was too fast, too frantic. I have to run, I can't make it. He bolted into an empty room. Before I could reach him, he lunged to the window. So this is the 5th floor. He jumped, and I felt time stretch as I watched him fall. The sickening thud echoed through halls, and all the air filled with the haunting sound of gamelan and basinhin's song. An eerie lullaby that seemed to mock the tragedy. I stood frozen, my heart pounding, when a woman's laughter pierced through the haunting melody. It was as if coming from the very depths of hell. No! No! The sight of his lifeless body, sprawled on the ground below, broke something inside me. My vision blurred, and the world around me spun as I sank to the floor, darkness closing in. And suddenly I was awake in my work attire, my heart racing in my own bedroom. Wait, what am I? The familiar walls surrounded me, and the night shift felt like a distant nightmare. I blinked, disoriented, and for a moment I couldn't shake the feeling that it had all been real. I checked my phone, and it's the day before the night shift. It was supposed to be tomorrow. The hell? I frantically turned the TV on, and there it was, on the news. Tragic news from the city hospital. Anindra Sanjaya, the once prominent CEO, has jumped to his death from the hospital building. Sources say he was struggling with overwhelming debt from online loans, a situation he found himself entangled in after a series of poor financial decisions. My stomach twisted as the screen flashed images of him, smiling with a woman who looked like a Basinhin woman. They looked so happy, so full of life. All that joy was gone, leaving behind nothing but despair. Witnesses report hearing strange sounds coming from the hospital moments before the incident. Authorities are investigating the circumstances surrounding his death. I stared at the screen, frozen. The laughter, the singing, it all came flooding back. I felt sick. Was this all connected to the night I had spent at the hospital? As the news continued, I couldn't shake the feeling that the nightmare wasn't truly over. Mr. X. Alright, now we're back at the good ending, which we saved Angela from being taken by the ghost lady. Healthier and happier, her mom smiled at me and I could see the relief in her eyes. Doctor, thank you for everything. It's nothing really, so what happens now? Well, we're moving abroad soon, just the two of us, starting over, away from her dad. Well, oh yeah, Mrs. Lee, we're moving abroad soon, just the two of us, starting over, away from her dad. Well, gave me a big grin. It was clear that they were ready for a new beginning. That's great. For both of you. One with a grin. I think we're ready together. Cleopatra record a short clip of three of us thanking me for saving her daughter. I smile happy and I awkwardly wave at the camera. And there we go. Upload. You're gonna be famous now. Great, just what I needed, ma'am. At least for something good. Goodbye, pretty doctor. See you again. Feel free to DM me if you need anything. Doc, a collab, whatever. I walk away with a warm in my chest. It was a reminder that things really can get better. Crackle with a bare audible voice that sent chills down my spine. We're at 104. Where Mrs. Salvina. My time. What do you mean? It's over. My throat for a second. Mrs. Salvi? No, she was unconscious. Could have been her, right? My heart pounded in my chest, and I rushed down the hall, thinking the door opened. This bullet had been in her. It decided as if it was broken. Something back near losing my balance. My heart hammered before I could catch her, but she was gone. Flatline. No. As if over carotid artery, desperate for a pulse. Saturate nerves, cold blue! Sorry, chest compression. My hands trembled, but I pressed down harder. Long after such a burst, and the nurse was right behind him. What happened? Damn, what must it be tonight? Doc, you look tired. Let me take over. Prepare the epi. Roger that. The ghost presence of Miss Sylvia, whatever that was, lingered in the back of my mind. We kept working, time slipping away, adrenaline kept us moving. Satyr's face was grim. The nurse's eyes widened and they seemed to look at the thin, fresh wave of fear through me. That's enough. She's gone. Time of death. The inner room thickened and froze over, hurling over into a suffocating tension. It was as if something was watching, waiting, ready to pounce out at any moment. The room was eerily silent now, except for the faint sound of the hard monitor flatline, which is still ringing in my ear. Sylvia was gone. Sadly, I had already left to write down a death certificate, leaving the nurse and I in pair of body for the morgue. I tried not to think too much. We just wanted to finish our job as fast as possible. Faint sobbing? I thought it was my own nurse playing tricks on me, but then I glanced at the nurse. Her eyes were widened, mouth agape. She heard it too. Did you hear that? Yeah. Tried to ignore, focus on a type, but the sound wouldn't stop. Sobbing grew louder, echoing through the small ward. It felt like it was coming from everywhere and nowhere all at once. There, just as Miss Sylvia, something caught my eye. A small crumpled photo peeling out of her gown. I gently pulled it out, smoothing the edges. It was a picture of her with two young adults, likely her children, smiling, happy. Why weren't they here to say goodbye? I stood there for a moment, frozen, clutching the photo. I couldn't believe it. Not here. Not with her. In the cold of the morgue. Let's give it back to her family later. The nurse nodded, her eyes distant, the sobbing still haunted the air as we finished. The room's eerie silence pressed in on us again as we moved her body up, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was still crying. Was it Mrs. Selby's spirit? The bell rang again. Oh, there's a Selby epilogue. Miss Selby was standing in front of me. She looked just as she did in life. It's a glow on her that made her seem almost ethereal. Doctor, thank you for trying your best for tending me until I died. Oh, Miss Selby, I wish I could have done more. You did more than you know, but there's something I need you to do for me. Please tell my children and my grandchildren that I love them. I was afraid that they would forget me. They've been so busy with their lives, and I never wanted to be a burden to them. Give them that photo that you took. I promise. Thank you, Doctor. I quickly went to the hospital and rushed to the dimly lit morgue. Miss Selby's family must have been called by now. I caught sight of two figures huddling together in the corner. They must be Miss Selby's children. I'm Leah, the ICU doctor who took care of your mom. We came as soon as we heard the news. We didn't know that she had passed. I'm sorry for your loss. She wanted me to give you this. I reached into my pocket and pulled out the crumpled picture I had found. A photo of a younger Miss Sylvia and her children. The old sibling took it, eyes welled with tears. I can't believe we missed our chance to say goodbye. I didn't even know she was sick. She was sick. She always said she was fine. We thought we had more time. I should have called more often. I should have just flown back no matter what. They both began to sob quietly. My throat tightened as I watched them grieve. Maybe I could convey Miss Sylvie's message to them. When she was still able, she wanted to tell you how much she loved you. She was scared of being a burden, but she never stopped caring about you. Thank you for bringing us this, Doctor. We'll make sure she's remembered. Yeah, I'm sure she'd want that. I left them to grieve their mother, struggling against the weight of my chains, the weight on my chest, which wrapped around me like a dense shroud. Pressing the call 110. What's going on? Dr. Leah, can you check on my husband? One moment, please, I'll be right there. Someone from the outside on the side of Miss Amelia awaits me. She looked closely. Her feet were still completely off the floor, just hovering. I swallowed hard, pushing my fear and unease down as best I could. Your husband's vitals seem stable. He's recovering well. Thank God. I was so afraid. I don't think I could ever leave him. Her voice quivered for a moment. I could almost forget she was a ghost. It was just a woman, clinging to the memory of the man she loved. I died of cancer just 3 months ago. It wasn't quick. It dragged on, took everything from me. I didn't think he could ever recover from that. We don't have any children to accompany him when I'm gone. So they're silent, unsure what to say. We wanted kids. When it became clear that it wasn't going to happen, I thought he would leave, but he never did. He said he married me for me, not for children. That's what he told me. Oh, my dearest. When I got sick, he took care of me every single day. Never complained. Never once made me feel like a burden. He was always my rock, right until the very end. But now, he's all alone. I should have been there for him, but instead, he's left alone, without me. All I want now is to repay him for everything, just to make sure he's alright. That's all I need before I can finally let go. As I stood there, trying to process everything, Mrs. Molino's ghost figure floats a little closer. Doctor, can you promise me something? Promise me you'll make sure he gets better. I hesitated. There was no way I could make this kind of promise. Healing wasn't something I could guarantee. I can't promise he'll get better, but I can promise you that I'll do everything I can. I'll give it my hardest. That's the best I can do. For a moment, she didn't say anything, just looked at me. That's good enough for me. Oh my God. Suddenly, warm, bright lights surrounded her. It wasn't like the usual eerie glow that accompanied her before. It was softer, more peaceful. I watched as she slowly faded into the light, her form dissolving into nothingness. She was gone, just like that. I then heard a groan from the bed of Mr. Molino was waking up. He looked around, confused. Doctor, what's going on? I had the strangest dream. You're fine, Mr. Molino. Your anesthesia is wearing off. Is that so? I dreamt of my wife. She was here with me. But she's dead, Doctor. Could I be hallucinating? Was that the sedative? I felt a lump on my throat, but I smiled back at him and shook my head. As I turned to leave, Mr. Molino's voice stopped me. Thank you for everything. I hope my wife can see how well you all take care of me here. I paused for a moment, glancing towards the empty space where Mrs. Molino has been only moments ago. I'm sure she knows. Oh, Mr. Jocko Molino returned to the hospital for his follow-up and, after his appointment, came over to me in the hallway. He was holding a beautifully decorated music box. Dr. Leah, I just wanted to thank you for everything. My wife, Sinfonio, she loved this music box. It was her favorite, and I'd like to give it to you. Mr. Molino, I really don't know what to say. He smiled gently, holding out the box. I'm fine. It's fine, Doctor. She always said it brought her peace. I think she wanted someone like you to take care of it. I don't have any children to pass it to anyway. I carefully took the music box from him. I'll treasure it, I promise. You know, when I first met her, I never imagined how much she'd changed my life. We didn't have children, but we had each other. That's enough for me. Oh, one day you'll find someone who loves you as much as she loved me. His words hung in the air, and I felt a lump in my throat. Thank you. He gave me one last smile before turning to leave. As I stood there with the music box in my hand, I could feel all the memories it held. It made me think about the kind of life I wanted to build. I'm so curious with this one. I saw my tractor. A frown on his face. Ah. Yes, it is. Could be a glitch. It happens sometimes. With the way he climbs down the hallway. Want me to check it out? Knock yourself out. If you see anything spooky, remember to scream as so we can all run away. Great, just what I needed. A sarcastic senior and a haunted hospital. I approached room 112 like I was wading through thick fog. Finally reached the door. I opened it as loudly as possible. I was shouting. Excuse me? The room was pitch black. It's just an empty room. No big deal. Just empty, possibly haunted room. My hand fumbled for the light switch, and when I flicked it on, the lights turned on, revealing what? Absolutely nothing. The room was exactly as it should be, empty, sterile, and completely devoid of life. And yet the callbell was still ringing, even though there was no one there to press it. Holy shit. Step back, slamming the door shut behind me. I hurried back to Satya and he looked as unimpressed as ever, that bastard. Well, he didn't even bother looking up at his coffee. There's nothing there. But the bell. The bell still looked at me, his expression darkened for a bit. Just keep an eye on it. Sometimes these things happen. Already know. But you could all just pretend it didn't happen. Up to you. He didn't elaborate, and I didn't ask. The shift's still a long way to go. Not this again. Completely and utterly empty. What? So why the hell was the bell ringing? What the hell is going on with this night shift? Room 1-3, knowing nothing what response should expect. Oddly enough, I was met with soft, heart-wrenching crying of a young woman. Satya! Can you come over here? I think we need to check this out. Shuffles over, a lazy smirk on his face that dropped the moment he heard a sobbing echoing through the intercom. Oh, creepy. Can we check the room together? Or maybe we don't have to. Oh, but what if someone really needs our help? Fine. He followed me regardless. As we approached the door, the crying intensified and felt tightening in my chest, but curiosity pulled me forward. I hesitated, my hand hovering over the doorknob as the crying suddenly stopped. Did you hear that? Yeah, whatever it is gone now. Are you sure? Yeah. Anyway, 1-3. Why is the dark room half this cracked? With a deep breath, we pushed the door open. I swear the room looked different just now. I scanned the room, half expecting to find someone curled up in the corner, but instead it was nearly empty. There was no crying, no sign of stress, just a sterile smell of antiseptic and dim glow of the overhead lights. I glanced at Satya, who looked like a deer in the headlight. Where's the crying coming from? Like I said, it's gone. Come on, let's head back. Maybe you need a rest. I couldn't help but feel like something was very, very wrong. But the crying had stopped, but I didn't think it was over. It was just the beginning of our shift. Great, another empty room. Just let it be. It's not worth it. Hello? I finally got to the empty room, reaching the doorknob, and I see breathe past me. Curious, sir. Do you want to play? Okay, nope, not doing this. Mm. Whatever was haunting his face felt hungry, searching for something or someone. Oh gosh. She's not after me, isn't she? Whoa! In the corner of full sprint, heart pounding when I slammed right into Satya, nearly knocking both of us over. Whoa, hey, no running in the hallways unless it's an emergency. Satya, there was something in the empty room. A woman, or I don't even know, but she was there, I swear. Oh, really? There was something off about him. Satya? The smell was too stiff. His eyes were darker than usual, in a way that didn't belong in the light. His smile didn't reach his eyes, and for a moment I could swear the hallway lights dimmed around him. You saw her too, didn't you? Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. What does it matter? I didn't know what terrifies me more when I saw that empty room. What a strange way Satya was acting. Something wasn't right. Maybe you should get back to work, Leah. Things get strange around here after midnight. Yeah, right. I walked towards the station yet, not sure if I was more afraid of the ghost or the Satya or no. Why are the walls all like this? Oh god. Why is the station so dark? We used to see me standing there, I was glued to one. Hey, you won't believe what I just saw. The empty rooms? Best you ignore it. So you knew? I know that this hospital's been here since the Dutch colonial times. Wow. Oh. That's the tale, okay. Back then it was a military infirmary. There was a widow who lost her husband during the war. People say she never left, still wandering the halls, looking for him. Oh. Yeah, if you keep entertaining her, she'll take a liking to you, you know? That's not... And not the let's grab a coffee kind of like. More like haunt you forever like. Great, just what I needed. Suddenly every shadow in the corner felt like it wasn't watching me. Holy shit. I might have made a very big mistake. Deep perfect. Oh yeah. Buzz again with no one answering. We started walking me away towards the empty room. Remember what the nurse said, but curiosity got the best of me. When I pushed open the door, I was taken aback. Oh. The ghost woman stood there, looking strangely serene, dressed in a beautiful kabaya that flowed like smoke around her. Gunbis. So you come. My name is Gunbis. You're quite the odd one, aren't you? Leah, are you a ghost? She laughed. The sound that sent chills down my spine. Obviously. Most people run away from what they see, but you linger. You're curious. Perhaps a bit too curious for your own good. Why do you keep ringing the bell? What do you want from me? I want nothing from you, dear. Hello. Is this a good idea? I don't know. Before I could respond, the air grew heavy and the lights flickered ominously. My instincts scared me to run, but my legs were glued to the floor. You're not supposed to be here during the night shift. Neither is your friend. This place is a threshold. It's an in-between. The ICU holds souls teetering between life and death, and sometimes they choose to stay. Stay? Do you mean I'm dead? No, which is why you're not supposed to be here. Your shift is tomorrow. What? The souls linger here, caught in their regrets and sorrows. They can become restless, searching for closure. And I am here, watching over them, watching over you. Satria is your friend, but he is too drawn to this darkness. Girl, you feel deeply, more than others. Maybe that's why you're here now. The weight of sorrow clings to you. I've seen it, and I've seen how it affects those who wander here. You must remember that not all souls are benevolent. Some may wish to pull you down with them. Leaving me alone. Leah? Oh, it's just you, Satya. Sorry to find Satya standing behind me. Oh, she's shaking. I just talked to a ghost named Candice. She told me I'm not supposed to be on the shift. I mixed up somehow. Crazy, right? Yes, your shift was supposed to be tomorrow. But then... Satya's expression darkened as his head began to twitch erratically. Tonight, we're walking a line between reality and something far more dangerous. I think she was trying to warn you. Warn me? From what? Satya smiled at me. A sad, warm smile that honestly sent a chill down my spine. But as I stepped back, the warmth faded. The figure began to shift and distort, revealing a bloodied skin, battered lens, and bruise that painted a horrific picture. I could see the ribs poking out of his element. See the frame, the once comforting princess, and now a grotesque vision. Satya, what happened to you? Go home. This is not your place. You belong with the living. As the reality of his words sank in, the world around me began to spin. My vision blurred and the room darkened. The last thing I saw was a haunting look on his face before everything faded to black. I passed out. The next day, I found myself in the familiar chaos of the hospital, the bright lights flickering above me as I made my way to my actual shift. My mind was reeling from the event of the night before, questioning whether it had been a nightmare or something much darker. As I walked past the nurse's station, I spotted the nurse from yesterday. She looked up and offered a sympathetic smile. Oh, hey, sorry for your loss. Excuse me? Haven't you heard? One of the senior residents passed away. I'm running on skeleton crew today because there's a funeral happening. Funeral? What was his name? Satya? My heart raced as I processed the nurse's word. Satya's funeral? That can't be right. I was sure I had seen him last night. We were working on shifts together. Huh? But he never made it here. He was in a bad accident before going to his shift. No, I spoke to him. He was... The words caught in my throat, and the room around me began to spin. My mind raced back to the night before. The division of Satya, bloodied and bruised, warned me to leave while I still could. Had I truly been awake? Giggled for a brief moment. I thought I saw Gandhi standing in the doorway. I blinked hard and she was gone. Hey, what's wrong? Nothing. Hey. Take a deep breath, new resident. It's your first shift. You're under a lot of stress. Yeah, maybe that's what this is. Stress. As weeks passed, I struggled with the news of Satya's death. It felt surreal, like a bad dream I couldn't wake up from. I wish I could have asked him what happened during that last shift. I focused on my work as a doctor, and each day I reminded myself of Gindi's word to care and feel deeply. Even though I never saw Gandhi or Satya again, the presence in a small moment when a patient smiled or a family member said thank you reminded me why I chose this path in the first place. I often looked out a window, hoping to understand what happened that night, but I realized I needed to let go. Maybe he just needed to finish his shift one last time. Special ending. It's like 10 p.m. Oh, it's too late. The nurse rushed her to the other room. Better luck next time. You had one job! Oh, His face was twisted in rage. His eyes darkened and hollow, his clothes drenched in blood dripping on the floor. I'm sorry! Satya snarled, stepping closer, his bruised face distorting as if it was melting, blood dripping from his broken ribs and the gashes on his head. I stumbled back, tripping over my chair. I scrambled to get up, but Satya lunged at me, his hands outstretched, ready to grab me, his bloodshot eyes locked into mine with fury. Wake up! Wake up! Suddenly I gasped, my eyes flying open. I was in my bed, my heart racing so fast it felt like it would explode in my chest. The room was dark, silent except for the sound of my own panic breathing. What just happened? Was I at work? Or was it some twisted nightmare? I looked at the clock. It was morning. The shift was over. Or had I gone to work at all? Nothing ending. Oh, so that's a nothing burger. Okay. So that's all I can do in this game. Intensive scare unit. I did try to find all of the ending, especially the good one, but I feel like it's a difficult management. It's difficult to manage all four patients unless the three of them, Mr. X, Angela, and Mr. Mulyono lives, because Miss Salvina, fate has already been decided. She's dead, so there's no point of trying to save her, I guess. It really gave me a fright. I'm recording this in the morning, but last night when I played the game, it brought me fear. Really hits close to home though, actually. I do enjoy the simple visualization of the characters within the game. And how you can actually distinguish between the humans and the monsters, no, the ghosts in this hospital. At first you can't even tell if Satya is actually a ghost. I made an assumption that he was so unfazed with everything that is outside of the chaos. Even a nurse reacted normally as a human would. So I kind of clocked in on that one, but I do notice the longer I play the game, Satya's sprite doesn't move. You know, bouncing forward and back as if the character is breathing. For example, the nurse, Angela's mom, Veronica Liam, they were quote unquote breathing based on the sprite. Meanwhile, Satya and then Mrs. Moyono, their sprites stood still. The only thing moved is just probably the head, because it's to convey an expression. There we go. What I like most is the music, the sound effects of it. It amplifies the scare factor when I first play the game. Oof. Terrifies me. The art style and music were fantastic. I had a great time, although I never got the good ending, but that's okay. At least I got to enjoy playing the game as is. Yeah, that's it for the game. Intensive scare unit. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.